Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt completely alone, even when you're surrounded by people? Now flip that. Have you ever felt totally connected and alive, even when you're by yourself? Here's the big question. Do content creators get lonely? If you've ever thought about starting a YouTube channel, writing a blog, or any kind of creative passion, you've probably asked yourself, what if it's just me, stuck in my own head, editing for hours, and nobody cares? Today, I'm here to share a different perspective, because loneliness isn't about being alone. It's about how you feel in the work you're doing. And if you're doing something that you love, well, loneliness doesn't stand a chance. Let me take you back a few days. Last week, I decided that I wanted to increase my output. I wanted to go from 2 videos to 3 videos a week. And it was a Wednesday morning. And my wife said to me, "Aren't you uploading your video today?" I said, "Yeah, I did speak about increasing my uploads from 2 to 3 weeks, but I haven't got a video for today." And she said, "Well, what are you going to do?" I said, "Well, I didn't say when I was going to start putting out 3 videos a week. Maybe I'll start next week." And she sort of nodded, and we sat there and we enjoyed our coffee, and we're sitting in the sun and we're just enjoying each other's company. And then we started to talk about massive action and what it means to people. And then I started giving her my take on massive actions and a post that I'd written in Threads about massive action. Maybe massive action is an action that you don't take. And as this conversation's unfolding and we're both going back and forwards, throwing ideas off each other, she said to me, "Why don't you go in and record a video?" And I'm like, "On what?" And she said, "This conversation, just go in, sit there and record your thoughts." And I'm like, "Okay, let's do it." So I did. I came in here, I sat down, I set up the camera, and I just spoke for about 10 minutes. And then I turned the camera off, I took it into the computer, I edited it up a little bit, and 45 minutes after that conversation, I had a video that was ready to be uploaded to YouTube. And that was the simple process of it all. Born out of a conversation, a morning conversation over coffee. I had an 8-minute video. Perfect. Then we got changed, we went to the beach, we did some grounding, we talked about how easy that process was. How come you can't do that all the time? That's all you have to do. When you get an idea, just go and sit there and talk about it. Because why? You're passionate about it. You really love talking about these things. And it really was that simple. I get those creators that make complicated videos. But what I don't get is that mindset of it's a lonely job. Because before I started doing this content creation, before I started uploading videos, I spent 20 years as a coal truck driver. Now that is one of the loneliest jobs on the planet. For 12 and a half hours a day, you're isolated. You don't have anybody to talk to. Sure, there's chatter on the two-way and you talk work things, but for 12 hours a day, you are literally by yourself. And during those 20 years, I can't say that I was ever lonely. And the reason why I was never lonely, because I had my thoughts and I had my dreams. I had a constant rhythm in my mind, coming up with ideas, imagining the possibilities, and planning for a future that I hadn't yet built. That time alone wasn't isolating. It was preparation. Looking back on that time, I now know that it was a space where I learned to connect with myself. And I formed some bad habits, don't get me wrong. I learned how to speak very negatively of myself, but it allowed me the freedom to be a creative thinker. And now I get to actually put all that creativity and all those thoughts and those dreams and visions that I had of the life that I wanted to live, I'm now putting them into practice. By no means am I saying that being a creator is an easy job, because most of the time it's just me and the camera. And sometimes the editing process, well, it can stretch into the night. I won't lie. Depends how many takes I have to do, how many, what I have to cut out. But it can take a little bit of time. But here's the truth. If you're truly passionate about what you do, you're never alone. You see, passion doesn't leave room for loneliness. When you're creating from a place of belief, when you're sharing something that lights up your inside, you feel connected to something bigger. You feel connected to your purpose, your audience, and the story that you are telling. But let's get real for a second. I know some people feel lonely in the creative process. Maybe they don't get the engagement they hope for. Maybe they struggle with self-doubt or the pressure to be perfect. And to those people, I say this: stop focusing on the external, start focusing on the internal. When you start to feel all those type of things, stop and ask yourself, why am I doing this? Why am I creating? Who am I becoming in the process? When you focus on who you are and why you're here, everything changes. You stop chasing the likes and the views and start creating from a place of authenticity. And when you do that, the rest will start taking care of itself. So no, being a content creator isn't lonely. Not if you're 1,000% into what you're doing. Not if you're driven by passion and fueled by belief and connected to your purpose. And the best part, when you create from that place, you inspire so many more people to follow their passion. So the next time someone asks if being a creator is lonely, here's my answer. How can it be lonely when you're living your dream? Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.